Hi everyone. So just taking a second out of painting some medieval stuff to answer these questions that I've been tagged in by Dom from Boots on the Table. Cheers mate, thanks for that. As I understand it, it's Chilling Wargames has picked up some questions that were going around on YouTube before and just tagged some people in them, and I've been tagged. There's 3 questions, and then I'm going to tag 3 more people who I'd like to, learn more about, some other channels, just about YouTube. So I'll try and keep it interesting if I can. So yeah, question 1. How did I get into the hobby? Hang on, I need something. Right. I first got into the hobby in about 94, 95 when I was in school. I remember my friend Simon brought to school a white dwarf which had a load of blood angels getting out of a tank or rhino, and they had a flamethrower and it was all on fire, and I think the magazine came with a free cardboard battle bunker that you could stick together. So that would be 2nd edition 40k. And I didn't know anything about it, and we passed this magazine around between 2 or 3 of us and wanted to have a go, and I think he'd lifted it from his older brother's room. So we started having a look. I managed to get hold of some models. I had no idea how to play. I made up my own rules using some dice that I had. Someone had recently bought me a Dungeons and Dragons game, so I was using like a D20, and I just made up some rules to use these 6 Space Marines that were all sitting there like this. And then slowly more of my friends started getting into it, and it was purely just 40k, and then slowly fantasy. I knew about historical wargaming, but I had no idea how to get into it. Eventually sort of got into a bit more serious, and sort of gamed most weekends. But then I had a bit of a dropout from probably about the age of 15. I had other things on my mind, and we picked it up again. I was at university and I came back, and my cousin, her other half, come round because his son had just started to get into it and knew I had some old white dwarfs, and wanted to know sort of like what it was all about. So I showed them, and then that sort of reignited my interest, and then I went to Games Workshop and I picked up a load of Bretonnians that I still got. And I think that was actually the last time a Bretonnian army book came out. So that would have been about 2003, 4. And then I picked up, got back into it, mainly with GW stuff. But then I started to go off GW, not because of anything GW were doing, but mainly because I just wanted to paint something different. And I went to another hobby shop and I picked up a War Machine model, which was completely different. It was like a sort of female satyr with like horns and like this like really bulky armor. It just looked really cool, so I just wanted to do something a bit different. And then I started to look at other games and other manufacturers. And then I think my first foray into historical wargaming was actually with Flames of War 2nd edition. I really liked the little starter box they did, which was I think it was 2 Stugs and 3 Shermans, and a rulebook, and I picked that up, convinced some of my friends to get into it, and then went from there. That then developed into bolt action and so on and so forth. But that would be it. So yeah, school and friends bringing white dwarf to school would be how I got into it. Let's see, what's next? Where would I like my channel to go in the next 5 years? Well, to be honest, I'm surprised that my channel has gone anywhere in 1 year that I've been doing it, let alone 5. I guess that I love doing the battle reports. They've been a bit of a lifesaver through the lockdown period to keep me gaming. I'd like to do more. I would like to film some of the larger games that I have, because I don't play in a club, although I guess you could call it its own little club now. There is 4 of us. 4 people a club? Don't know. But I want to film some more battle reports, and I want to highlight other systems. I've got all these systems here behind me I love playing, and I you know, I'd like to show more people. So I'd like to sort of highlight other games. I want to carry on making painting videos for things that I generally, what happens is I look for them and for videos, and if I can't find them, then I'll do a painting video on it. That's how I did the contrast one, and for example, I did a Mordor troll for Lord of the Rings, and I'm going to be doing a couple more. So I think I'm probably going to be doing more of the same because it seems to be working. I don't ever want this to be like a job, so I will carry on uploading when I can, not when I feel like it, but I'm not going to put myself under pressure to create content. I'll create content as I'm doing things, and it comes naturally. So that might mean sometimes there'll be 3 videos in a week, or there might be one once, you know, in a fortnight, depending on how long they take to edit. Also, if I can convince Haley to play some different war games, but we'll see about that. I guess what would be quite cool is there's such an awesome community of YouTubers here, of Wargamers. I'd really like to actually have some games against them, if it can be organised once this sort of lockdown's over, but once this sort of whole situation is resolved, I'd love to have some games against people, and maybe, you know, film some stuff from that perspective, travelling to other YouTubers and them playing games that they like with me, and I'll highlight ones I like. It's something that I think is cool, and something that's come out of this I didn't expect at all. And the last question: what advice would I give to a new hobbyist joining YouTube? We're getting into this whole YouTube thing. I guess my first piece of advice would be just to do it. I sort of ummed and ahed about it for ages, and it was actually only with the contrast paints coming out, and I couldn't find any videos to do with historicals or how they worked. It was all plague bearers and space marines and all sorts. So that's why I got into it. And then I sort of ummed and ahed about videos to do, and I guess I'd say is just don't be afraid. Just go for it. You'll soon find out if the video isn't going to, you know, take off. I mean, you know, some of my videos, you know, people don't seem to get as much traction on, but I don't let that discourage me. You know, I know there's still a few people out there that enjoy them, and there's other videos I know that people really like the Black Powder games and stuff like that. So I would say, yeah, just go first of all, go with your gut, and then just have a look at what content people are responding to, and don't change completely if that's not the content you want to do, but just sort of take on board what made that video, you know, good, or you know, what works, and then just maybe add that into your next video. Another piece is don't stress about editing too much. You know, there's some great little free editing tools. It's not that aren't mega complicated. You don't have to go through all these complicated cuts and wipes and slow motion shots and things like that. Just do whatever's easiest and just get the content out there. Because, you know, at the end of the day, we're all on here for the same reason. Another good thing is just if you want any advice, just ask for it. I have. Everyone here is great. I've asked how to do a couple of things. I couldn't even work out how to autofocus. Get it off of autofocus. So someone showed me. So take advantage of the fact that there's a lot of people on here who've been doing it a while, and they've already been through it all as well. So yeah, I guess there we go. There are 3 people I'd like to tag now. As this has been going around for a while, I'm guessing they might have already done it. If they have, I apologise. I'm going to have to mine your older videos and have a check. I clearly haven't done it well enough. The first one is Nick from Medieval Wargamer. His channel is just wicked. He focuses a lot on the 100 Years' War. I'm doing Wars of the Roses, so I'm dealing with all of the descendants. I'm dealing with a lot of the sons and the grandsons of the people who he is doing with. So he'll have something where they have some honour, and they win a lot of prestige in a battle, and then their grandson throws it all away and gets his head cut off in the War of the Roses, which is still the most common way that people died in Wars of the Roses, was execution for the nobles anyway. So yeah, Nick, Medieval Wargamer. Another one, just because he's doing the Wars of the Roses as well, is Miller's Miniatures. Go check out his videos. He's working on similar things to me, but comes at it from a slightly different angle, which is cool. He's got some wicked videos on there, so go and check him out as well. So I challenge you to answer these questions. And my final one is for Colour and Painting, who makes wicked painting videos. Just finished watching his one on painting Russians from the Napoleonic War, and they're really concise, well thought out painting videos, not a lot of faff, and they're very clear, and I think that's wicked. And if you're looking for Napoleonic painting guides, that's definitely one to go and check out. Anyway guys, I hope everyone's keeping safe, I hope it's entertaining, and I'll see you all again soon. Cheers.